My friend and I work at the same company. While we work on different departments, the company is on the smaller side, so everyone knows everyone. A while ago, I noticed that something was going on between my friend and our boss. He is a very nice and charismatic man. He is also very good looking, and it is known that he has had relationships with employees in the past, even though he's married. I didn't think much of them together, mostly because she's married, and I never expected this sort of thing from her. The rumors inside the company started pretty soon after that, and they reached me before she had even told me anything. When she learned about those rumors, she came to me asking for help. She came clean and told me they were dating, but her husband could not know about it. She wanted to use me as an excuse for when she needed to go on dates, and even suggested that I should take the blame as the mistress so our colleagues would stop talking about her. I obviously told her that I wasn't going to do that, and she got extremely angry about it, and we stopped talking soon after that. After that, I started receiving messages and calls from her husband asking me to stop slandering his wife, because apparently she told him that I was jealous of her improvement inside the company and was spreading lies about her to get her fired. I managed to block his number from calling and texting me, but he has sent messages through social media, including accounts that belong to her. I thought about telling him, but I don't think he'll believe me, and I'm scared that she'll do something that will end up with me losing my job. Dude, your wife is cheating on you with our boss, and she asked me to cover up for her, and I told her no. That's why she is complaining about me. Sorry, man. If you ever have any emails or text from her to prove this, it would help. Going to HR on the record is the best way to protect yourself at work. Once it's on the record, you can't be fired without putting them at risk of being sued by you. And filing a harassment complaint with the police about the husband is the best way to protect yourself from him. If you have screenshots or texts she sent you about the affair, save them and send them to him if necessary. You fear going to HR now, but wait until you actually get in trouble for this. Then you'll wish you had gone. Soon, these rumors are going to put your boss's job at risk, and no doubt he will perpetuate the story your friend is dishing out. They are going to save themselves, even if that means sacrificing you. Document it all, don't delete anything, and start going to HR. You need to build a case, not dump everything on them when crap hits the fan. Just because your boss is top of the totem pole doesn't make this any less laughable and pathetic. You are just another employee going to work. Why are you being asked to cover for their indiscretions? Also, very stupid of your friend's husband. Bring those messages to HR. Be factual and don't tell them what you assume, just what you know to be true. It's possible she sent those pretending to be him. Apparently, they're all crazy enough for that to be a possibility. Don't underestimate how ducked this could get. My grandpa taught me how to carve wood, and I've been doing it for about 10 years now. I have a full-time job, but I sell items in a 30-mile friend's store. I can make my rent off my jewelry boxes alone. I have been working for 3 months on items to sell at a Viking festival we are going to. My bigger boxes sell for about $150 to $200, and I always sell a lot. I made jewelry, totems, wooden runes, and some little Viking statues. This is an old song and dance. What doesn't sell at the festivals goes to his store. Now, my mom has always been sort of a white liar. She will promise my time and energy without telling me. Most of the time, it is a simple thing to explain I will not be available on weekends to help someone move or clean their garage. She hasn't done it in a while because it embarrasses her, and I don't feel I should be the one to sacrifice free time to help people I do not know. She is in her 40s and in pretty great shape, so there is no reason for her not to be able to do it. 3 days ago, my mom came over to ask about the Viking fair. She wanted to know when I was going and if I needed someone to watch my dog. I said best friend, 28 female, was staying in the apartment and I was taking doggy, 4-year-old female, with me. I always take the dog. She seemed upset and said she could do it. I told her that I don't trust her with my apartment because last time she cleaned everything, tossed out important documents, and borrowed clothes without asking. I don't live in squalor. My apartment is cleaned every week, and I make sure it's neat. But she didn't think I could live in a way different than her. She then told me that a friend was coming down and she was hoping they could stay with me. I told her no again, it was not going to happen. It was not a crash pad, and best friend knows not to let her in, at all. And since mom doesn't have a key and never will, it's not an issue. My mom then said that she needed to borrow a few of those boxes, which was the Viking stuff I had set off to the side. She said her friend was hosting an art auction, and she had volunteered my art to be shown and sold off. I asked if I would get the money. She said no, it was going towards BS charity. I told her no, that was 3 months of hard work and I was not giving it away. She left in tears, and now I am being called by several women in the BS charity saying I should keep my word. My mom called them in tears, saying I backed out of my promise, and she was so embarrassed and I was a horrible child. I am at a loss. I am not sure what to do about this. The bigger issue is my mother. Is there a way to make her understand this behavior is not okay? When her friends call, just say, "I'm sorry, but my mother does this sort of thing all the time. She only let me know about this charity event recently and had already promised you items without talking to me first. I'm sorry she put you guys in this position." It sounds like you've told your mom before that this isn't acceptable and she isn't listening. Best to just tell her friends like it is. You should call that charity and ask for proof of promise. You have not given your word, your mother has. Your mother has no rights to speak for you, so they cannot keep you to your word because that was never given. Also, tell them if they call you again, you're going to call the cops. You should also complain to a higher up if that's an option. It sounds like this charity is run like crap if they have time to spend to harass you. If they want to alienate an entrepreneur, that's their business. But a smart charity would ask, "Would you mind if I put you on a list to contact you next year for some options?" Your mother is a different story. You are keeping good boundaries with her. This is her own doing. She won't take responsibility, and she admitted she wanted to steal your stuff. It might be smart for you to keep some cheap security cams around the house because she might have an issue to take from you. It's not so you call the cops and arrest her. It's just to solve little mysteries so you know where things went. You won't change her, so just let her make a fool of herself. She won't learn. She'll just blame you. We have been together for 2 years now. To make a very long and irritating story somewhat short, my boyfriend's immediate family, 3 sisters, grandparents, and parents, started hating me about a year into our relationship. They always have a different excuse as to why. His youngest sister, 22 female, has a burning hatred for me and never fails to voice it to my boyfriend. His mother would text me often saying my boyfriend's life is declining because of me until I changed my phone number. On the other hand, my family loves my boyfriend. He comes to my house after work and basically lives there. He just goes to his house to sleep. My mom invited him to come travel with us in February. Boyfriend said yes. Mom bought our tickets. Last night, his mother texted him, "Your father is threatening me with divorce if you go on that trip." Some backstory. His parents were divorced but remarried. His parents always lived together for the sake of their kids. My boyfriend is, in his father's words, his mother's responsibility. So whenever my boyfriend needs permission or needs anything, he goes to his mom. My boyfriend did move out with us last year for about a month. His youngest sister actually kicked him out because she didn't want him to live with her if he was still with me. After a month, his parents begged him to come back, promising that they'd pay for his school, let him be independent, and they wouldn't complain about me or disrespect my family. He felt bad and moved back in with them, and then told me that he prefers living at my house because his home is always filled with bad vibes and fights. Slowly, after he moved in, his parents took back everything they said and went back to how they were before, restricting him, harassing him, and picking random fights with just him and never his sisters. Edit. Lots of people have been asking why his family hates me, so here goes. My family is on the lower class. I'm the only one who works part-time. Everyone in my family works full-time to be able to support ourselves. We don't have a lot of money, but we still have fun and are grateful for a roof over our heads and food on our plate. We live in a trailer in a more ratchet Hispanic neighborhood. His family lives in a nicer area 15 minutes away in a nice little house. My boyfriend and his father are the only ones who have jobs in their house. His sisters never had to work, nor did his mother. I did find out from a text convo between my boyfriend and his sister that his parents hate me because I'm poor. About 2 months into our relationship, my boyfriend found a puppy on the streets. I wasn't allowed to have dogs in my house, but I begged and I was able to keep the puppy. My boyfriend's youngest sister had bought a puppy a couple months prior to this. So I'd spend all day at their house with my new puppy and their puppy, who got along. Fast forward a couple weeks. The sister's puppy had gotten sick with diarrhea and a cough. She said my dog had gotten her sick and sort of blew up. She started screaming, saying I can't take care of it, I'm selfish, and that her dog now has to suffer because of mine. Couple weeks later, we forget about it, and there's tension but no real problem. When my boyfriend turned 18, he went credit card crazy, literally. Got $6,000 into debt. Most of the stuff he bought was food, a GoPro, laptop, and he would take me out often. I was 16 at the time and didn't even know how credit cards worked. I just thought he was good with balancing money. His parents say this is my fault because I apparently made him spend all his money on me. Whenever he doesn't have money or asks for something, they always say, because of my name, you can't buy yourself whatever it is. They blame me for his debts. Later, boyfriend tells me what his mother said about me. Convo goes something like this. Mother, remember not to get her pregnant because you guys are too young to be parents. Boyfriend, it's okay, she's not going to end up like you. Mother, yeah, she's not because I've only slept with one man and she's had more. Don't know where this came from, but I easily forgave and forgot. Somewhere along the way, his youngest sister and mother banned me from entering his house. My boyfriend had picked me up, but said he needed to stop by his house and said it was okay if I got down and waited in his room for him because I was doing my makeup. As we walk in, I can see his youngest sister in the backyard, and she just stares at me as I walk straight into his room. 10 minutes later, she's kicking and punching the door and screaming that I need to leave now. My boyfriend opens the door to tell her to stop, and she starts throwing punches at him and tries running at me. I was trying to call their parents to come, but they were at church. At this point, she's screaming and throwing kitchen things at my boyfriend and scratching at his face and neck, and the middle sister is trying to get everyone calmed down. I scream over her and say exactly these words. Okay, sister's name, I'm leaving. And she screeches some pterodactyl noise and goes off about how dare I disrespect her in her own house and whatnot. Middle sister is screaming that I'm tearing their family apart and to look at what I do to his sister. Boyfriend escaped and promised to never bring me back to his house, and we went to church to look for his parents. When we told his parents what happened, they barely had any reaction and said sorry and hugged me. Next is just stuff like his mother calling me and trying to talk to me, but I don't pick up because I don't feel comfortable speaking to her without my boyfriend, because I know she's going to say something out of line. She says I have problems because of this and that I need to get checked out. The youngest sister goes on to say that I give her nightmares and that I'm the reason for her anxiety. At this point, I say duck that and stopped bothering with his family and focused on my relationship with my boyfriend. Youngest sister sends an essay often, saying how her brother deserves someone who actually loves him, that I'm just looking for company, and that my family and I could bring nothing good to him. She also tells his family how my D-addict mother gives me D. What? And how she thinks that I was A by my stepfather. What? To this day, the youngest sister refuses to say my name out loud and refers to me as the girl. The middle sister offers my boyfriend money to dump me. The mother still blames me for everything, and the father mostly stays out of it. His family is a train wreck and is guano crazy. Honestly, I think he needs to make a huge decision here on whether or not this matters to him, you or his family. I somehow suspect that either A, they're getting divorced anyway, or B, this is an empty threat and nothing will actually happen if he ignores it. He should probably respond to that like, oh man, that sucks. Let me know if you need help finding a lawyer or something. So, my boyfriend and I will have been dating for 5 years next month. My relationship with him is great. In the same vein, I've known my boyfriend's mom for the same amount of time pretty much. Before the last 7 or 8 months, she was always very welcoming to me. She's divorced from my boyfriend's dad and lives alone now, and my boyfriend tries to visit her a lot, and I have often gone with him. We were also friends on Facebook. What changed was that boyfriend's mom started selling Unique. For anyone who hasn't heard of them, they're a MLM cosmetics company. Ever since boyfriend's mom has seen me as a target to sell things to. First, it was asking me to play with her boxes of Unique junk whenever I came over her house, and trying to tell me that it was the same quality as my MAC cosmetics. So I stopped going over. Then it was tagging me constantly in pictures and videos of her doing unique looks and posting dumb #bossbabe memes. I unfollowed her, but I still get Facebook messages asking to come over and look at her new Unique crap, or to come by her party, or to join her team. I've constantly told her that I can't afford to spend a ton of money on makeup. That stuff is really expensive. She always parrots back the same retorts I've always seen Unique presenters say. I've tried to get my boyfriend to have her tone it down. Boyfriend's mom just tells him she's trying to run a small business and that he needs to get out of her way. A couple weeks ago, my boyfriend took her out for dinner for her birthday. I went because it was a special occasion and it was the first time I'd seen her in 4 months. Boyfriend's mom hassled all the women at the table about Unique. Finally, I caved. What harm would it be to humor her on her birthday, I thought. I bought one of those 3D fiber lash mascaras from her. It was horrible. The fibers fell into my eyes so much that it made them swell up, and I almost went to the hospital. I messaged boyfriend's mom to ask for advice. I didn't even want my money back. She blew up at me. It was like she took me asking about the mascara as a personal attack. She told me I was a horrible person, that I had never supported her small business, that I was a negative hater, and that I was an awful girlfriend for her son. Now, boyfriend's mother has been telling my boyfriend that I'm the most selfish person she's ever met, and that he won't be welcome under her roof unless he breaks up with me. My boyfriend has assured me we're not breaking up, and that he'd rather wait for his mother to come to her senses. I feel so guilty for coming between him and his mom, though. Is there any way I can fix this? Besides buying more eye-exploding mascara. Oh, MLMs, ruining friendships and families since the beginning of time. Don't fret about it. You won't be the last enemy she makes by annoying the duck out of everyone to buy her crappy overpriced mascara. You need to check yourself and stop feeling guilty right now. You've done nothing wrong. Honestly, it sounds like both of you would be better off without this nasty leech in your lives.